Hey, Kapper here. I've had a few people ask for an update on Project 211. The process is moving along. We sent the Earnest money out. We had to put down $2,500. So that's been sent out, and we got official approval from the bank for the loan. So that part is done. So now the appraisal has been ordered, and the property has to appraise out at least at the purchase price in order for the bank to give you a loan. So that's really the next potential snag. Once that is done, then it's pretty much smooth sailing from there until we close. So I'm out here at the property right now because I forgot my ozonics unit from me and Curtis hunting this last weekend. So I'll give you a little look here as I'm driving in, but I'm going to put the Ford in four-wheel drive and try to get as close as I can anyways to that blind so I can grab my ozonics unit. This first part has a pretty decent road, kind of the first half here. There's a pretty rough crossing coming up right here, and then the rest of the roads are terrible. They're washed out, they're rough. There's a lot of stuff going on that needs to be fixed as far as the road system goes. So here's a look at the first crossing. I'm still in two-wheel drive. I think this will be fine with the Ford. This could use a culvert pipe. Oh man, I'm sliding. I felt the rear axle kick in to lock in both of them. Whoa, barely made it. I should say for the record that my tires are pretty close to bald. I've got almost 40,000 on the truck, so it is time for new tires. But what a beautiful, we're finally getting a little bit of sun. It has been raining, and I don't mean raining like the pond filling, I just mean like a drizzle and a fog for the last 3 days straight. Not enough to do anything for the pond, just enough to get the ground all greasy and nasty. All right, I'm turning off onto a CRP trail here. I have not been on this one yet. Interesting. Here, I've been here several times and haven't even covered the whole property. But this is going right to the area where that blind is set up. Oh, and there's a deer right there. There she goes. Yeah, I better park here and walk the rest of the way, because last thing I want to do is get stuck out here with no way of getting out. Okay, have a look. I carry a couple of extra SD cards in my truck for emergencies, so I can swap out 2 of the cameras while I'm here. Just out of curiosity to see what's going on. It's only been 3 or 4 days, but might as well while I'm here. Shucks, I just missed it. Some deer ran out. Couldn't tell if there was a buck in there or not. All right, I see the blind up here. Keep our fingers crossed that the ozonics didn't grow legs on it, because those are like $350. And with the north wind, boy, you could hear the highway a lot more. But I noticed when we were out here hunting, you just kind of get used to it after a little while. Nice little creek crossing here. There's a crossing right here below the blind. Look at how pretty that is. It's clear water. Beautiful. There's a look upstream. Look at that. More sand. I can't believe it. All beautiful sand. Look how pretty that is. Okay, this is a trail here that we were actually kind of hunting, and we got a camera set up further up on this trail where there was several fresh scrapes. Good news, the ozonics is there. Good deal. All right, I'm gonna walk up on our camera in those scrapes. Obviously, I'm hoping that some bucks still live here, because there's really not much food here, and even a lot of the cover is gone because they mowed pretty much everything. So I'm just hoping that some bucks are still around and that they're still using this property at least as a travel route. Let's take a look here. I'll show you what we're set up on for this particular camera. There was a fresh scrape right here, which is not fresh anymore. And another scrape right up here. Which it's not really worked over that much, but we'll see. It's saying there's 53 pictures or videos, so that's good. Look at this here, a watering hole. I had not seen this before. For whatever reason, it's a really deep spot here. Beautiful. I mean, that looks to be probably 2 foot deep there. Maybe a little more in the middle. Why it's here, I don't know. And I don't see any excavator sign here. There's no rock in this section, none. But then there's rock behind it and in front of it. But this is a really nice little, heck, this is a swimming hole right here, man. You could really cool off here in the summer. And here's your usual bonus find of a garbage pile. But there's not been much. This is really the only one we've seen. That's an old car right there. I see a disc in there also. Like an implement disc right there. That's an old car right there. Yeah, maybe I'll get lucky like on pickers, and that headlight will be worth like, you know, $5,000. Wouldn't that be something? And a lot of junk tin. And when you're in hill country with a lot of water, you gotta watch out for these little holes that are actually little caves. But you'll break your leg. That's 3 or 4 foot down right there. And what happens is it finds its way out. There's another small one. It finds its way out down there somewhere. But for just walking and a vehicle, that's bad juju right there. That's really bad news. That's about a 3 foot straight down drop right there. Right on the field edge. And there goes another deer. Well, they could really see you when the ground is not grown up very well. There goes one. Out of that thick stuff right there. I knew there'd be more in there. Okay, here's my camera. I got it set up to capture a well-worn trail where this rub is, and then of course this field edge right here. So it's kind of capturing 3 things at once to maximize its usefulness. Let's see how many pictures or videos we got. Okay, not bad. There's 69 on there. Good deal. Okay, so that's the update. By the way, it's December 20th. Next thing we're waiting on is the appraisal. The appraisal has to come back at the sale price. So I'll keep you posted on that. And remember, if you hunt, to carry SD cards, at least a couple in your truck, just in case. You know, you're checking your cameras or you're out with a buddy, he's got cameras. So that's it for today. I'll keep you posted. But right now, looking pretty good. All right, we'll see how the Ford does through this mucky stuff right here. Yeah, baby. Woo! Okay, let's take a look at the trail cams. Look at this really nice buck here. He hits that first scrape that I showed you with the camera, and you could see his tarsal glands there are pretty tarry. He's going to make a scrape here and pee in this thing. So this tells you that, you know, scrapes and rubs are not always just active during what people think is the rut, but they're active for much longer than that, actually probably all the way through the winter. So now he's going to go over and hit the first scrape that I showed you by this camera. When I put a camera up, I try to cover multiple things to really increase the chances of getting different intel. In addition to these scrapes here, I put my cameras on video mode for the most part, not all of them, to try and get intel on where they're moving, when, and how, and so forth. So here's another nice buck. This looks like a 2-year-old, but man, look at the rack on this thing. Yeah, it's only a 4-point, but my goodness, imagine him just as a 3-year-old next year. I mean, what a beauty. And look at this, daylight, midday, high noon during the day. They're just out roaming around this farm. And of course, you got your coyotes. Everywhere around here is just loaded with coyotes. That's just how it is living way out in this area. And then, of course, you have redneck, idiot neighbors' dogs. I'm telling you, if you're out in the country and you got hunting land, if you don't have dog problems, consider yourself fortunate, because I'm going to tell you, way out in the country, it is a problem because people don't take care of their dogs, they run loose, and they have an impact. But the good news is the deer do get used to the dumb things, but it's still frustrating. So then just picking up a little more intel, you know, watching the way the does and the fawns are moving, what time and when. You know, this is a brand new start on a brand new property, so we're just starting to try and investigate and put the pieces together on, you know, how this farm is going to work. So then the second trail cam, here's me finishing setting it up. It's 3 p.m. on the 15th. So it didn't take more than an hour and we got our first picture right here at 4:09 of a little fawn, and probably some other ones moving through. And then a buck comes an hour and a half after I left. Looks like a forkhorn here. And then another different buck right behind that one. They're obviously traveling together. So there's another buck here, a smaller little forkhorn. And then there's going to be one more buck right here on the trail. Right there he is. So, I mean, we've got probably like 6 different bucks on these cameras, which aren't even really the good spots yet, in only 4 days of running these 2 cameras. So that is a really, really good start for this property. So stay tuned for more updates. I'll bring them to you on this Project 211 deal and how the deal is moving along, and hopefully we will be closing on this property in mid to early January if everything goes well.